We could use someone with your talents. You know the land, you know the dangers. Will you join us? I'll await your answer in King's March.
By the light of Ramako, you did it. You, a mortal, have crossed the threshold between God and man and struck the Ravenous One asunder. I'd always held out hope that you would succeed, but at night I would stay awake worrying that perhaps that hope was a foolish dream. But you've done it. You are no longer an exile, my friend. I honor you, and I'm certain the rest of the world will honor you as well.
Oh?
We've much to discuss. I'm glad you decided to join us. I hesitate to call you Exile, for we are all exiles in this foreign land. As the King's Hand, I serve as Treasurer of King's March. Come to me for all financial and resource management matters. Next, you should familiarize yourself with our recruitment processes. Introduce yourself to Raouf, hire a recruit, and then return to me to discuss placement. Next, you should familiarize...
Oh, Johan and Danig brought you on. Don't worry, I'll get all the necessary... Oh.
We've much to discuss. Several of us. I am from a reckoning. I choose.
Hail! It's not... thing. Hail! We've got a promising list of picks. They can start immediately, and I'll get everything filled out later.
The last thing we need. I'll add it to our balance. One more for the mines. These beginnings may seem inauspicious.
Hail!
There you are, hero. Runes are... If you encounter...
Oh, good. Figured you'd finally... A name. We're still on our... Don't know much about it. Bunch of... The southern... For a place... It's a long...
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello.
With these for place equipment.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
20 years. I heard about this place. Hush!
Hey,
This soy.
that is my...
I have come.
I'd rather...
Yes. It's a cornucopia of talent. Great choice. Promising pick.
Exile. One more for the mines. Sonia will make good use of them. A wise assignment. The shipping lanes will be somewhat safer. A good apprentice for Danig. The shipping lanes will be somewhat safer. It's dangerous work, but they can handle it. Sonia will make good use of them.
Have anything for us to disenchant? Oh, it's you.
Huh? Who's that?
You stand before the gates of the Lord's labyrinth. Within these walls, the Lady of Justice doth preside. She shall weigh your mind in one hand, your heart in the other. Should she find you wanting, death shall be your sentence. Should she find you worthy, you will be given the loyalty and love of an empire. The Lord's labyrinth awaits you. Choose wisely, strike quickly, trust completely, and may you find the ending that you deserve. The just goddess presides over us all. The future of the Empire rests in her even hands. In the impressionable youth of my reign, I was encouraged to believe in the precious nature of my imperial blood. The divine claret, as one fool of a courtier would repeat with tiresome regularity. Unfortunately, my divine claret refused to pour from one cup to another. Try as I might, with a lovely procession of young and ever dutiful wives, my noble seed simply would not sprout. Who then to choose as my worthy successor? With the candidates on hand either mediocre at best or maniacal at worst, I found myself in quite a quandary. That's when fortune took me by the hand and led me to a forgotten tome on a forgotten shelf in the quietest corner of San Library. A tome entitled Ancient Traditions of Asmarian Ascendancy. The rest, one might say, is history.
I'm not up to that just yet.
The weary traveler draws close to the end of the path. The Asmari were the first culture known in history to use trials of strength, wisdom, and spirit to select its chieftains. The first Lord's trial was a rough-hewn maze festooned with wild animals and brutal traps, crafted to test aspiring Asmarian leaders' body, mind, and soul. In conquering the adversities of the maze, a champion proved they were capable of bearing the crushing burden of chieftainship. The first trials were simple contraptions reflecting simple times. As the Asmarian civilization grew in number and complexity, so did the trials, from treacherous mazes to bewildering labyrinths. Alas, there are no surviving descriptions of the labyrinth that tested and proved the worth of Viruso Prima Imperialis. I imagine it was quite something to behold. Slowness lends strength to one's enemies. Forget your freedom. By the goddess, what ambition! Wisdom is the offspring of suffering and time.
The son of Esamir met the son of San upon the road to the Imperial throne. The Eternal offered his cunning, his eyes and ears bought and paid for. The Esamite offered his strength, his sword, earned in the arena. A pact was forged, with the labyrinth as witness. Two men separated by blood, two men bound by hope, two men and only one emperor.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death. The Azmeri were consummate survivors. They had to be, having been sired in the most inhospitable range of mountains in all of Rayclast. Unfortunate, some might say. I do not. I believe it was the making of them, and of us, their descendants. So it is no wonder that they developed the Lord's trial. With survival being a moment-by-moment concern, that harried people grew to understand power quite intimately. Strong leadership is able to bridge the chasm between existence and extinction. Poor leadership might see an entire tribe vanish into that same chasm. When the Azmeri descended from their mountains to conquer the fecund lands of central Rayclast, they thrived and multiplied with utmost alacrity in those more forgiving climes. For is it not poverty that teaches us how we might excel in times of plenty? An emperor is only as efficient as those he commands. Stand your ground. Such resilience. My 3 lieutenants remain. Misery loves company, I suppose.
A guide, cornered and quailing. A warrior, watching. The moment bathed in the shadow of doubt, of ambition, of an imperial throne, and a people made free by an emperor of Ezemir. Cold and cloying shadow and struck down the slavering beasts. The guide looked to the warrior with gratitude in his eyes and spoke of doubt, of ambition, of an imperial throne and a people made free by an emperor of San.
Where there's a silver key, there must be a silver door. An aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep those promises. The custom of the Lord's trial was upheld throughout the founding years of the Empire. Verusso's successor, Caspiro, was a low-born legionnaire, the lone survivor of a labyrinth that claimed the lives of every high-born contender, including Varusso's only son. Caspiro proved to be every bit the emperor that Varusso was. Alas, the Lord's labyrinth was corrupted by those with the vanity to consider their blood more precious than their empire. Selfish blood breeds selfish times, and the Empire paid for it with its own blood, with the Knight of 1,000 Ribbons, with that most regal of cannibals, Emperor Romira. Not anymore. I, Isaro Frecius, shall return us to justice. I shall build the greatest Lord's labyrinth in Asmerian history, and my successor shall be chosen by the goddess herself. Only when the Lord's labyrinth is drenched in selfish blood can a true leader ascend the throne.
The guide led the warrior down a path that wound and twisted through fields of blossoming promises, green-bladed hopes. The warrior closed his eyes, a mere moment to feel the warmth of the sun on his back and to drink from the guide's profit flask. Now the warrior staggers and crawls down the wounded, tortured causeway. The bitterness stings his weeping eyes. The fire roars in his belly, consuming him. The warrior will not ascend. Instead, he hunts, guided by his love for Esamir.
The Empire awaits you with open jaws. Give no quarter. I die for the Empire. Before your Emperor, you are worthy. Before the Goddess of Justice, you are worthy. Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise, Ascendant. For this is the ending that we all deserve. There are venoms and virtues aplenty in the wilds, if you know where to look. A woman can change the world with a single well-placed arrow.
I'm so glad you're here.
Kirak's my name. Commander of the Citizen Vanguard. We're the front line. We've a vital mission for you, Godslayer. But you're not going to believe me until you see this.
Got my eye on you.
The presence of nature is absent here. You only get one first impression. Try not to ruin it. You're making me nervous!